everyone, Amanda here, thanks for joining me. Over the next few days I'm a little bit busy with some design work that I need to submit, so my crafty videos may be halted until maybe Sunday. So I thought I'd just quickly come and say hello, and I thought I'd share some thrifty finds with yourselves. So in America we call them thrift shops, in the UK we call them charity shops, and it's where you can get some great finds. And if you're a journaler, it is the best place to look for books, which you can use in your journaling. And you can use a variety of books. There's all sorts you can get your hands on, and you don't have to pay the earth. So the first shares that I'm going to show you are these three beauties. So whenever I go into a charity shop, I immediately scan the shelves top to bottom. It's like beachcombing, and I scan them. First of all, I'm looking at the covers, because covers like this attract me, because I can take the contents out and just use the covers for interesting journal covers. So these attracted my eye, but then on closer appearance these won't be getting broken up. So anybody that knows their books, don't panic. These, when I got them and I had a look, I realised that that one's over 100 years old. And these ones, I think that one's 100 years old and that one's 98 years old. So I managed to find some antique books, and I paid 30p each for these. So one is the poems of Robert Browning, poems of Tennyson, and the works of Virgil. So they're really interesting. This one's interests me especially because we've got this writing inside here, and this was gifted to George Stewart all the way from Montrose. It's ended up in West Yorkshire in Huddersfield, don't know how, in a charity shop. And so George Stewart was gifted this book by his, it looks like his minister. So yeah, so that's lovely, isn't it? So yeah, these will be going on my little bookshelf to look lovely, and I may well read some of them. I'm not going to exaggerate and say I'm going to read them all, because I likely won't read the Virgil. So this is another one I scanned and I loved the cover. Okay, now this is a complete works of Jane Austen, and on closer inspection this would be perfectly fine to cannibalise, as it were. So I always check the covers that the spine's not glued to the cover, so then this can be easily replaced. So you can easily take the text block out and I can use that, and it's a modern one, reprinted in 1995. But also what I also then look for, as well as just the cover, I look at the type of paper. There's types of paper I don't like the feel of. Okay, I have to look at the type of paper and to think, can I use it? And I'm also looking for images, because there's no point just having loads and loads of text. I've already got loads of book pages, there's only so many you need. So I'm also looking for images. So this one is really useful for the cover. I can use the text inside, which is obviously if I want to do a Jane Austen, and then there are pictures within it as well that I can cut out and use. Again, 30p. So I tend to go to the same charity shop. They tend to sell their books really cheaper, but there are quite a few around my town. And this was another great find. Excuse me, they are dusty, so they might get on my chest. And again, I love the old cover. That was the first thing that attracted me. Then I had a look and it said music hall songbook. So then obviously I always look at the inside to see how old it is. And this is fairly recent. I think it was 70s, this one. Where's the date? Can't remember, but I'm sure it was like 70s. So it's not like I can, because some really old ones, if they're out of copyright, you could then scan the pictures in and you know, alter them and turn them into digiprints and give them to people or sell them. But if they're not out of copyright, obviously you can't do that. But what I can do is I can cut this book up and I can use these images if I want in my journal first hand, and I can scan them and save them for a later date, maybe. Who knows, we'll see. Depends how long I'm journaling for. So I liked this one because, first of all, I like the cover. Second of all, it's full of music. pages. And then third of all, if you look as I'm flicking, it's full of all of these great images to do with the music hall. So I can cut these out and use them in my journaling. Okay, so I pick a book up, I look at the cover first, and then I will quickly flick all the way through till I make a decision whether I'm going to buy it. So if I can use a book in more than one way, then I will purchase it. So, you know, I won't purchase it just because of the cover, if the text inside is going to get wasted. But if I can use it in more than one way, then I will purchase it. You don't want to just end up with heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of books that you can't get through. You can only use so many. Okay, I know people that buy books don't like to hear that, but you can only use so many. So, you know, this is great, and I do love vintage and I love the Victorian era, so this is perfect for me. Okay, again, I think I paid about 50p for that one. Then I noticed this little gem here, and this is like a little dressmaking textbook almost, and it's from the 70s. But yeah, 95p. I think I paid about 30p for this one as well. And I will break this up. It's a textbook, but I just like all of the kind of sewing related pictures in it, and it's littered throughout. And so if I do a sewing themed journal, you know, I can have these as, you know, and add them in. I could make journaling cards out of them. I can add them as pages or pockets, etc, etc. So that's another one, and I love that cover. How cool is that? Right, so I'll just leave those to one side. Here's another one that I got really cheap, as you can see, 50p. Now, I always look at ones with flowers and nature, but what I'm specifically mostly looking for is artist illustrations rather than photographs. So a lot of modern gardening and flower books, the photographs, and they're not always the kind of thing that I'm looking for. Some journalers might love them, I pass them by. So this one I liked because it's like got artist illustrations. So the pictures in here, if you look, you know, they're like it's like they're painted rather than photographic. So that's more useful for me. So this can get broken up and used, all of these. I can use full pages. You know, we've got months of the year in there as well. So that's really, I just thought that was a really useful book. Okay, again, I didn't pay a right lot for that one. And I also picked the ones with lots and lots of pages. Now, the cover of that will be no good to me because it's a modern day plasticky one. That will go in the bin, but the inside's there for 50p. Lots and lots of floral images that I can fussy cut and add to things. That one is called Illustrated Wildflowers Finder's Calendar by David Lang. So the more modern ones, I'll give you the name of, and then you can hunt for them on eBay or World Books or whatever. My camera feels like it's wonky. Let me just move it. There we go. This is another one. It's a modern one. This is called Natural History of Britain and Europe by Michael Chinnery. And this is fabulous. This is absolutely full. Again, you know, it's a modern one, but I mean, just look at that for first page. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm having this. Look at that. And throughout the whole book, there are a mixture of photos and drawings. You know, like artist impressions. But how lovely is that? So those kind of photographic ones are nice, but some of the gardening ones are a little bit boring, unless you want them for actual gardening. So this has got loads of animals. You can fussy cut. Look at that, isn't it cute? So yeah, lots of animals, birds of all kinds if you wanted to fussy cut those. And then we get on to those reptiles and bugs and fish, snails. You know, a lot of people are, oh, I don't like looking at those spiders. But then, you know, we move on to butterflies. So look at all of these beautiful butterflies that I can fussy cut if I wanted to. And there's heaps of them. I absolutely love butterflies. There's heaps and heaps and heaps in here. So I can fussy cut those and add those to my butterfly collection. There's loads. And moths and goodness knows what. More butterflies. Loads of them. And then we move on to the flowers. And so then there's flowers. So this book is really useful. We've got the birds, we've got the butterflies, we've got the flowers, we've got animals, we've got photos, full page photos that you can use as a full page in a journal, and then you've got parts that you can fussy cut. So this is what I'm looking for when, you know, and then you've got obviously your shrubs and your trees and your mushrooms. What a great find this book is. So this is what I'm looking for when I go to charity shops. I'm always scanning. It's like when you're a beachcomber and you, me and my daughter look for sea glass, have just gotten into looking for sea glass, and so your head's down searching, and it's the same in the charity shops. My eyes are forward looking for books. So The Natural History of Britain and Europe by General Editor Michael Chinnery. That is a very good book. So if you're searching on eBay, World Books, Brit Books, also all of the charity shops in the UK have their own websites as well, or their own shops on eBay. So if you type in, you know, for example, British Heart Foundation online bookshop, you might come up with something. Okay, that's a great buy. I think I paid, what did I pay for that one? Right, so that looks like I've got it from the one nearest to my house, so I will have paid about 30 or 50p for that, because they normally charge you 6 books for £2. So I'm in there every week scanning. This is another one I think I got from the 6 books for £2 shop as well. And this, I liked the cover again. I probably will cannibalise this book and use the cover. It just depends. Yeah, I can get my fingers in there and remove that text block. And I just thought this was interesting engineering workshop data. So there's no pictures in here, but it's full of tables and numbers and drawings and, you know, there you go, cogs and more tables. And so I thought, well, perfect for my journaling, you know, I can rip those up and use them for tags, and I'll never be short of numbers and tables. Look at those, fabulous. I've not worked out how old this one is to see if I can scan it in or not. I can't remember, where are we? 56, so don't think I can use it yet. I don't know. I think it's 70 years after the author's death is the typical benchmark. We'll see. I'm not too worried. There's plenty there for my own personal use. And then this one again. So this was 150. So this is from the Kirkwood, which is a hospice in our local town that looks after people end of life care. And they have quite a few charity shops dotted around our town. And sometimes you can get really good books. Mostly modern ones, because the ones of any value or old ones, they put them on eBay to make more money. But I just liked this one, and I had a flick through. First of all, the sizes of the pages is important as well, because if they're nice big pages, you can make wallets out of them, you can make, you know, trifolds out of them, you can fold them in half and use them as a journal page. There's so much you can do. But this one caught my eye because of all of the images in it. Yeah, and it goes through history as well. So you know, if I wanted to do you know, there's Shakespeare. If I wanted to do medieval, I've got some medieval images. And as we go further on, you know, then we've got, as we go through time, romanticism, and we've got a lovely picture of Jane Austen there. And so it's absolutely image, you know, heavy. There's loads there, absolutely loads. So, you know, whether I want to just cut out pictures to have them as like references to people or certain times or certain whatever, there's plenty there. Absolutely loads. Okay, so yeah, brilliant buy for £1.50. So that is in my collection. So that one is called, if you want to look for it, Colour Library Book of Great British Writers. Who's it by? Colour Library Books. I don't know. Introduction. Don't know. Who's it by? Right, there isn't actually an author. It's something that's been put together just by a publishing house. So it's obviously just a collection rather than an actual publisher. 86. First edition published by Colour Library Books. So it's a reprint. So it's a modern one. But you know, those photos are perfect. Absolutely brilliant. So if you can pick one of those up cheap, that'd be great. Then of course we've got the two Golden Chalice books. Now what I will say is a lot of journal makers have these in their collection or more than one. But one thing that I just want to warn you is don't go paying silly money for these books. Be patient and wait until one comes up at a right price. I have seen these books going for anything up to £100. I paid £5 for this one and £3 for this one. Do not allow eBay or, you know, these book companies, when they get low stock of things, they put the price up. Don't be tempted. It's just a book. You can use a different book. It doesn't matter. Don't get drawn into the price wars with things like this, because then it pushes the price of other things up and it's ridiculous. At the end of the day, it's just an old book. There's lots of others with similar things in, as I've shown you. So this is The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, made really popular by journal makers. As I say, this is a nice one. It's got the dust cover on and it's got the plain jacket there. There's different ones. Some have got shine, more modern ones have got shiny plasticky covers on like some of the other books. This is a nice one. So this is one that I've purchased. I also did have one given from a friend. So that one is broken up and this one is in my collection for now. So this was gifted to somebody as a wedding anniversary present in 1977. So I was 4. And obviously, you know, beautiful, beautiful pages, handwritten. It's why it's attractive, and all of these are hand painted. And that's why this book is so attractive to journal makers. It's beautiful. But like I say, don't get pulled in to the silly prices that people charge for these. It's just a book, okay? And especially if you're going to use it for your journaling, you know, just think. Same with this one. This is a lovely one. This is a Victorian flower album by Henry Terror. So if you're looking for it, that's what you're looking for. And again, this one's really widely used because it's a collection from this gentleman here who went out the same as Edith Holden, and we've got loads of handwritten bits here. This is a modern reprint. They've obviously gotten his works and put them together. Unless you've got the original, then you're a bit snookered. But yeah, so you've got these long tall pages with all of these hand done illustrations. So this is another really good one to use. I'm going to keep my eyes open, and if I can find another one fairly cheap, same with the Edith Holden, I'll probably break these up and do some journal kits, because I'm never going to use all of those pages myself anyway. I'm never going to use all of these books. I could journal every day, all day for the rest of my life, and I'm not going to use them all, so I may well break them up and share them. So there's a little taster of some of my books. I've not shown you all of them. I do have some of the, I was gifted some encyclopedias, which are fantastic, but they're very dusty and very old. So I'm not getting all of those out today. So there's an idea of what you're looking for and what to get. And just remember, we are only crafting. They're not going in the Louvre. You know, our journals aren't going in a museum. So don't pay a lot of money for these books if you're just going to use them for journaling. Otherwise, what will happen is you won't want to use them, you'll hoard them, and they'll just be sat there, which is a shame. So there you go. That's my little collection and share for today. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you again probably on Sunday. Bye for now.